Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all. Okay, so this is episode I think 2 or 3, um, and it's just very interesting to me. This whole the cast and the storylines and Karen in particular and just everything. It's just like it's just very interesting and somewhat weird, but we're gonna go ahead and push through with it. Okay. So Karen, the grand dame, she goes over to Monique's house. And, for the most part, her and Monique are cool. She very much so supported Monique. She liked Monique from the very beginning. And they're cool for right now. So, Monique ain't been too long moved to Potomac in this huge house. They still ain't said nothing about Sharice yet. Sharice is not a part of the main cast anymore, but she's going to be on the show. So I wonder why they bumped Sharice down to the B character place. Nobody's talking about that, but okay, I guess we'll get into it later on in the season. So anyway, Karen comes over in this cute little jumpsuit, in this Jaguar, I believe. And the Black Bill Gates, her husband, is in however much debt, but she got a Jaguar. So I'm just like, okay. She comes over, sit down and talk. Her and Monique are talking. She expressed to Monique that, it's comforting to sit down and talk to somebody who's not judging her. But she is scared about her husband's tax situation and all that. And of course she would be. Because seeing as how she's the wife, they could end up possibly asking her for money. But according to Karen, Ray has made sure that that won't happen. One thing that was interesting to me when Karen was talking to Monique, she said that that her and one thing that has made her relationship last for 21 years is the fact that her and her husband do not have joint accounts. Everything they do financially is separate. That's very foreign to somebody like Monique, because Monique, she has everything joint with her husband, in which I feel two types of ways about that. I feel like having a joint account with y'all just being married is fine. But I don't necessarily agree with having everything together. I just don't agree with that. I think that y'all should have one joint account, but y'all and obviously y'all both put money in and take it out when y'all need be. But I think that you should have your money and they should have their money. But I mean, if you don't work, then their money is your money. So whatever. Monique was just kind of shocked about that whole situation. I was too, a little bit. Moving on from that, we get into Sherman, which is Giselle's man. They're going on a little date to some great garden plantation grapevine moment. They're sitting outside eating on a picnic. We find out that Sherman has 3 kids, and obviously Giselle has 3 lovely little girls. And they said that if they combine together, they would be the Brady Bunch. Both of them, it's a mature relationship. Both of them have their own kids. I don't think they're interested in any more kids or having kids or nothing. Or I don't even know if they can. But, they are talking, and Giselle really likes Sherman, and whoop to whoop. I'm sure he worships the ground that she walks on. He got his high yellow queen, and whoop to whoop. And so yeah, they go off to the grapevine and do it with the squirrels watching. Okay, so what else is going on, y'all? Robin, y'all know Robin blocked me on Twitter. Yes, she did. But anyway, Robin Dixon, still with Juan, of course. He's still very handsome, but she's still very pretty, and very stupid. But anyway, so I just feel like they're both wasting each other's time. They really are. I guess they're gonna wait till the kids get grown until they finally separate. It's just all that time you wasting some good years. I don't know. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. Whoop to whoop. And she expressed that whole thing to the camera when she was talking about Ashley. Y'all know her and Ashley have had issues in the past. And she says somebody like Ashley, would not understand her situation. Excuse me. And because she already she had married a rich man, so she don't understand the sacrifice. And her and Robin and Juan both met when they were teenagers, so they both didn't have any money, obviously, like most of us, like everybody. And so she was with him when the highs, when he was rich and when he was back poor, and whoop to whoop. So she's definitely stuck it out with that man, and completely hats off to you, sis. I can completely commend you for that. But at some point you have to realize when something is just dead. And in my opinion, that whole Juan and Robin relationship is just dead to me. Just from me watching on TV, child. So, they're also in the process of moving down the street. In the same place. They're in a townhouse right now. So they're moving down the street to a bigger townhouse. So yeah, I don't know what Robin doing with her Potomac checks. Maybe they're just trying to save. I don't know. I wonder how much she get paid from the show though. But yeah, it's all just to support his dreams. He's a coach now, a basketball coach, I believe, for a college, and so that's good. So yeah. A little earlier, while Monique was talking to Karen, Giselle came over to talk to Robin. She said that Robin stayed in the middle of nowhere. Ain't no restaurants around, ain't no gas stations around. It's just, I wouldn't come, to be honest. Unless she needed me, unless she needed help or something. That's the only time I would come. But Giselle comes over. Of course, they're talking about Karen, and everybody's kind of living in this moment of kind of enjoying the fact that Karen is having a downfall, as bad as that sounds. But because Karen has put on fronts like Sheree Whitfield and put on this image like she's the grand dame and this and that, some of the heat she definitely deserves, in my opinion, because she tried it for the first 2 seasons, especially the first season. Oh, she was so extra and grand and whoop to whoop. But at some point I feel like there's no need to beat a person when they're down. And, they know Karen's full of mess and full of it. But that's just Karen, And she probably has a good heart, underneath it all. But she just puts on stunts and fronts. Which is annoying. But hey, y'all on the show with her, so just stop beating the lady up, child. She's an older lady. Leave her alone. So anyway, moving on from that, what else is going on? So Ashley, she's back with her husband, and she is also, back running Oz, their little Thai restaurant that didn't serve any kind of food that black people would eat. So I guess they're doing well, and they incorporated like fries and burgers and hot dogs and chicken wings on the menu. Finally. And so Ashley is holding, every month she holds like a women brunch there, where they sit around and have drinks and, eat and whoop to whoop. Just socialites and business women and all that. So they come, around and shoot the shit and whoop to whoop. And we end up meeting a new cast member named Candace. This is the girl that replaced Charisse, another brown skin girl they done picked up, child. I guess they thought we weren't gonna notice. So, how they did on 3AW, they replaced Notori with another chocolate girl to come in, because I guess we all look alike. They ain't pay no attention to. Anyway, I'm not gonna get all into that. So Charisse is fun and bubbly. She's from the pageant world, very prim, proper, but you can tell, what do you call it? The whole bougie and ghetto mix with both of it. Bougetto, is that what it's called? Yeah, she gives me that tease. But she'll put on fronts and be all, uppity and stuff because of the pageant world. She gives me that. Y'all saw Ashley throw a little shade at her, said that she won an off-brand Miss America pageant, and I was like, I holler. But she was the winner of the Miss America pageant, wherever it was. It's probably here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, child. I think I remember seeing her. No, she looks very familiar, Candace. Like I done seen her before. Like she was, I don't know. I feel like she played in some movie, or she was on some TV show, some reality show, or a model on The Price Is Right. She was something. I remember seeing her before, but anyway. So Monique ends up coming. Y'all know the young girls are Monique, Ashley, and now Candace. And so they're all sitting around talking. Monique and Candace is hitting it off, but you know Monique is real. Candace is real extra and whoop to whoop, and you know, hey. But she seems cool for right now. We meet her husband, a white guy. Or her fiance, excuse me. He seems more hood than she is. She says she grew up like the Huxtables and, you know, the upper class and whoop to whoop. I'm sure she'll get along fine with Karen as long as she's not too hood. Because Karen don't do too hood. And even though this whole tax situation that Karen's going through is very hood. But anyway, so, you know, they're engaged. That's all I got on them for right now. Okay, what else is going on? They seem to very much so encourage swirling in Potomac. But hell, it's only the only black people on Potomac from Potomac, and live in Potomac is the black people on the show. So it's just like, hell, what to do? And half of them is mixed, so it's like, what's the tea? What to do? Okay. So moving on from all of that, Karen, she had a meeting with all the girls. She personally called up all the girls, and you know, wanted to talk to them and square it away with this whole tax situation. And one thing I noticed is that she personally called all the girls, and so I was just thinking to myself, I was like, wow, well, she personally called all the girls. Which means that all the girls could have personally called her if they really cared about her to see if she was alright. Once all this hit, you know, the news, the sites and stuff, the websites, the blogs and all that. So, but they didn't. So, you know, it's just another sign of, you know, people who aren't really friends that's on the show together. Classic. So they're all meeting up and talking, child. They all get there. They ask for something to eat. Karen say there will be nothing but peanuts and water served until I get finished saying what I have to say. I holler. Karen is funny as shit. She is. I cannot deny that. Karen cracks me up more than anybody on the show. Karen cracks me up. And so what else is going on? She also had this guy with her. This guy who's been working with her for years. I thought he was an accountant, publicist, lawyer, whatever. This white guy that was sitting beside him. I don't know what he do, but he just worked with Karen. I guess she just needed backup because of, you know, so many people coming at her one time. And she says that she did not like that whole gang mentality of a bunch of people jumping on one person. And I'm thinking to myself, but you called this meeting, Karen, so how could you say that you don't want this whole gang mentality when you're asking for it, basically? Like, you're putting a piece of fish outside at night and expecting cats and raccoons and shit not to come to it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But okay. So all sitting around talking. Robin asked her, is the whole tax situation, is that the reason you moved, is that due to the whole tax situation? She couldn't answer that question. She basically couldn't answer any of their questions. But she moved to a house that cost way more than the house that she originally stayed in. Karen should have just stayed her ass in the house that she stayed in and call it a day. But she's trying to be extra and grand and put on stunts and fronts and shows. Why? You too old to just not be real. Just keep it real. But, you know, when you live your life a certain way, when you somewhat put people down and make it seem like you're indeed the grand dame, for real, you have to live up to this image that you've created in yourself, for yourself. So that's all it is. She's just caught up now. She says that her and her husband, as I've expressed before, that they do not share. They don't have a shared bank account or nothing. And they asked, well, Ashley asked, well, do you think you're going to be indicted or something? She was like, no, boo. That's Ray's issues. Everything that's going on is Ray's problems. Whoop to whoop. I stay in my lane and whoop to whoop. But that's the problem, sis. You stand in your lane sometimes. I understand that sometimes. But you still need to know what's going on business-wise if it's going to somehow fall back on you. And even if you have your own stuff, you being his wife, it still could fall back on you, what he's doing. So instead of just sitting there, just raising his kids and cooking and, giving them loving every night, you need to be checking some statements, sis. And that's, part of the thing that they was trying to tell her. Karen, she got very defensive. She got upset. But you called for this meeting, sis. What did you expect when you bring a bunch of shady folks? Everybody been talking about you behind your back, and you bring them all together. They're going to have each other's back and not yours. They're all going to come at you at one time. They're all going to speak at one time. Like, I don't know. I would have never... I don't think I would have asked for this, to meet up with all of them. But maybe the producers asked her for this. But, they just going to run Karen crazy, child. What else was going on? I think that was pretty much it. She kind of got into it with Ashley, Karen, but she's always looked down on Ashley, and as all of them have. And she left. This was the last statement she said. She said, "Yes, my life is very confusing, so deal with it." And I was like, "Ooh." It was like, it's one thing, then it's another, and I say some, and all the girls agreed. It was just like, look, we want to help you, but we can't. And Giselle's very shady, and it's obvious shade. It's not, Giselle's shady to me is not funny. It comes off as malicious and mean. Giselle came in there to the meeting with Karen with a shirt that said, I believe it said, let's pray for the Hugers. Come on, Giselle. Shady Boots. Let's pray that your makeup actually is good and actually is wearable for people that's your man complexion, that's that dark and darker. Let's see if you've actually accomplished every single hue. Is Sherman the one that paid for the makeup launch and all that? Is Sherman the one that paid? Ain't no telling. One more for Giselle, because she's tried it in this episode. Let us pray that you finally get some Revlon or some kind of rejuvenation. Bring them cells back in your neck, because your neck looking real scratched up. Showing your age, sis. Make sure you get some good moisturizer to put down there. When you put the moisturizer on your face, bring it down here too, sis. Okay? Bring it down here. Float up. Don't float out. Float up. Okay? Helpful. She tried it. I didn't like that whole little scene, of just kind of rubbing it in, But at the same time, I'm two sides with a lot of stuff. I'm a Libra child. So, whoop, 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 whoop. I see all sides. I understand all sides. At the same time, Karen brought all this shit on herself. So, hopefully they don't stress Karen out to where she pass out in that big house by herself and ain't nobody there to come see about her. Y'all don't call her. With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ItsKingsWorld, Instagram, and Twitter. At ItsKingsWorld89 on Snapchat. Chase King was here on Facebook. Sorry, Chase King on Facebook. All my social media handles will be in the bottom bar below, and I'll see you guys later.